Oh my gosh, guess whose camera just started working? Look at the quality. Okay, here's my setup. Wait, let me show you. So my mom for Christmas, her best friend gave her a selfie light. And if you know my mom, you know, she doesn't take selfies. So she was like, Laura, you can have it. And I was like, yes. And then I'm in my garage, which like, is that a weird, oh, I'm zooming in. Oh, how do I zoom out? Wow, okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm in my garage. And I don't know if that's weird or not. I am setting the camera up on a Jiffy peanut butter cup and a kind of gross stool. Now that we've established I'm a vlogger with a camera, I thought we could make a short little video. And I just wanted it to be short because I've never edited on my computer before. I mean, if you don't count like when I was 8 and I would edit friendship videos with my best friend. We're gonna do a book review today, and it's going to be of Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. First of all, look how beautiful this cover is. This is the cover, it is gorgeous! So this video is going to have a non-spoiler section and then a spoiler section. So the first part will be non-spoiler, and then I'll let you know by yelling, spoiler! And then that is how you're gonna know that you're into the second part, which will be spoilers. Okay, let's get into it. This book follows the main character, Evangeline Fox. She's a very like hopeless romantic, believes in true love. I feel like this quote perfectly encapsulates Evangeline and her entire essence. Not all loves happened at first. Some took time to grow like seeds, or they might be like bulbs, dormant until the right season approached. I thought that was so cute. And the writing itself is also like very fairy tale-y, romantic, not in like the romantic way, but romantic in like the idealized way. It's a very whimsical book. That's the word I'm looking for. So it starts with Evangeline, and she heard about this guy named the Prince of Hearts. And the Prince of Hearts is a god. Literally within the first 10 pages, you learn that Jack is a fate. So there are 3 rules that come with fates. 1 is always promise less than you can give, for fates always take more. 2, do not make bargains with more than one fate. And 3, above all, never fall in love with a fate. Guess what's gonna happen? I wonder. So the story starts when Evangeline goes to find the Prince of Hearts because her love of her life, Luke, is about to marry her sister, which is kind of a jerk move, Luke. But she's like, he must be cursed because he's marrying my sister, so I have to go seek out the Prince of Hearts who can basically undo the curse. And so when she goes and finds the little Prince of Hearts sanctuary, she meets Jax. And Jax is the Prince of Hearts. And when he meets her, it's such a fun little scene. Okay, wait, I'll act it out for you. So Evangeline is all like, it's you, you're the Prince of Hearts. And then Jax is all like, people who don't like me call me Jax. And just as the book cover states, Jax agrees to help her for the small price of 3 smooches. But wait, it has a catch. I thought the kisses were gonna be him kissing her, and I was like, okay, that's interesting, but it's not. So that was the first surprise. And then, am I on a different setting? I don't know how to get back to that other setting. Oh no. Okay, so long story short, he just like bites her to seal the deal. He like literally like she starts bleeding. That was a very interesting writing choice. And then pretty much what happens is Evangeline gets stoned. You're gonna have to read it to figure out that whole ordeal. And then she becomes a hero. She gets sent up to the north where there's magical creatures, meets a prince. Jack is obsessed with apples. Every scene he's in, he's eating an apple. This is what the north looks like. Wow. The book is very fairy tale-esque. It's very much is this gonna be her happy ending? Is this gonna be her true love? Yeah, and it's just her trying to figure out, well, I can't say the plot twist because it's a spoiler. It was slow at some points and it was fast at other points, but like when it was slow, it was too slow, and then when it was fast, it was too fast. So the pacing was kind of off, and I found myself getting bored or having too many questions. Also, Evangeline questions everything, but she can never connect them. She just is like, oh, these things, they seem related. And then later in the book, she'll be like, oh, they're related? What? I had no idea. But I mean, all in all, it was a good book and I had like a fun journey. I did find myself kind of like pushing to get through part of it. I would rate this like a 3.5 out of 5 stars, 3.7. Can you do that? Like a 3.7 out of 5 stars because it's good and the writing is fun, but the pacing could be better and the plot twist came out of nowhere and it didn't wrap up at, okay, maybe it's a 3.5 because it, 3.5. Okay, final decision. Because it didn't wrap up plot twist at all. And then literally the whole point of the whole story, the whole arc was not resolved because I think it's probably going to be resolved in the next book or the book after that. But it's like, you kind of have to resolve the issue. Now let's get on to the spoiler section. Feel free to come back and look at my views after you've read the book because maybe we'll have the same thoughts, but maybe we won't. And maybe you'll be like, Laura, you're crazy. Spoiler, vampires? Where did that come out of? Like, I know they mentioned that one guy. There was the guard who came in and saw her and he said like one sentence to her and then he saw her in the spires and then he's just the vampire lord, Fate. He's like a Fate and a vampire lord and as old as like the entire country. Where did that come from? They hadn't mentioned like the closest thing they got to mentioning vampires was when Jax bit her, which was so weird. Also, going on top of that, why is Jax so anti-vampire when he bites people for fun? Also, Jax getting turned into a vampire? Are you kidding? Oh. Are you kidding me? I was talking with my best friend about this because we both read the book. And I agree with her in that that was a really fun scene, especially because his emotions became more intense and then there was actual chemistry between the two because I know that that's where it's going. They're gonna be together and there's gonna be chemistry and he's probably gonna be like, oh, I can't kiss you because you're not my one true love. But then maybe she is gonna be his one true love as well, or because he was already kissed by that one person who was his one true love, maybe he can kiss people now. I don't know. Something's gonna happen with them. And for the entire book, I did not feel anything. There was no chemistry. He was so aloof. He was just kind of terrible. He was so like, I don't even care about you. And I know at the end, he like cared about her because like she was poisoned or whatever, but that's kind of the bare minimum. Like I feel like you should definitely try to help somebody if they're poisoned. The chemistry between Jax and Evangeline, not there. And yes, I did like the vampire scenes, but I wish it was brought up earlier in the book so it wasn't just like oh, vampires exist and it's a Fate vampire and this one turn of events solves everything. It just solved all of the problems. And then freaking Apollo, he died, but then he didn't die, and then it's like, who poisoned him? And then Jax is evil, but Jax isn't evil, and there's just too many questions. And I know that's the point of a cliffhanger, but then you didn't even get to the arc at all. You were this close to opening it. Like I was just ready for that. And I liked Apollo. I know he was a kind of bit of a self-centered and also cursed and overbearing. But when they had the heart-to-heart, that was pretty nice. I liked the whole thing about crying yourself to death and how like she was gonna cry herself to death. I thought that was a really cool like poison or curse or like way to die, because this is very much like a story of emotion, a story of love, a story of betrayal, a story of crying yourself to death. And then Jack is so anti-emotion. Like he is the Prince of Hearts who's heartbroken, and that's his whole persona, is that he is heartbroken and he is incapable of emotion. Okay, also in the vampire scene, Jax was like, leave me, leave. I won't be able to control myself. But then he could just leave. Why doesn't he leave? I'm very confused by this whole book. But like, I do like it. I know I'm hating it just because I finished it recently and I was so frustrated with the ending. And that's exactly what Adele told me. She was like, this is a good book, except, you know, near the end, it's not very good. And then I was like, oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. And she was right. Anyway, that was kind of a chaotic book review. I'm still getting used to the process and I have my new camera. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you read it, because I'll be very excited to hear what you guys thought of the book. So let me know if you have read it, because I'm curious. I'm so curious. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I really like this. I think at some point I'm gonna review Atlas 6 because I loved it. I haven't read the new Atlas 6 and I really want to. If anybody has book recommendations, let me know, because I'm always on the search for new books. Thanks for bearing with me while I try to figure out my camera and I tried to figure out this whole making a video thing since I haven't done that in a long time, especially like a actual video with a whole purpose instead of just a little vloggy vlog. But I enjoyed making it. I hope it's not creepy that I was in my garage, and I will see you later. Goodbye. I am a vlogger now. People who don't like me call me Jax. He dragged a flower petal up and down his oiled chest. I didn't drop that. Oh my god, the velocity. He didn't even. I'm so bad at this.